is a special presentation of CW7 Arizona Sports.
We are ready to get things underway with the Bulldogs. Going to be kicking it off here, and into the end zone it goes. It'll be a touchback, and ALA Queen Creek will start off with the first possession of the game. And Britt DeWitt, the quarterback over there, number 15, the senior. Card D today, we've got the starting lineups in tonight's game, brought to you by Sanderson Ford. This is Sanderson Ford country. For the offense, I mentioned Britton DeWitt, Bobby Nesbitt also. You know, they want to run the ball with him. They've got some great weapons on the outside too. Yeah, they really do. When you look at that wide receiving core and that skills group, Jody, thing to mention about them, they are all fast and they can take it the distance anytime. They lost all of their starters last year except the quarterback, and the first carry of the game, it does go to Nesbitt, and boy, he is off and running. It really is. Does a great job of vision, finding patience, running right behind the center, McKay Jensen, picking up a nice gain on first down. DeWitt, little pass, swings it out, and the tackle is made as a flag comes in. Again, it's a little short of the first down. I think we might get a personal foul face mask penalty. You're going to get a shot of it here. And actually, no, I don't see any face back. Oh, yeah, we are getting a face back there, Jody. So it's going to attack on 15 yards. The reception is from Khalil Bender there. Khalil Bender is a name that we're going to call many, many times tonight. He's the McClintock transfer, and he lit it up for the Chargers the last 2 years. Played his first game after sitting 5 2 weeks ago, had 3 receptions in that DB game. I'm looking for him to get 10 to 12 targets in this one, Jody. You know, Khalil Bender, I was talking to the coaches before the game. What an athlete, both sides of the ball, and he's just so fluid out there. You're right, I think he's going to get a ton of touches here, as DeWitt is just going to throw this one away. Looked like a bit of a busted play from the start. Yeah, tried a little RPO action, and the senior Clint Jensen for Queen Creek was right in his face, making the errant pass, and there was no one for Britt DeWitt to throw to because his ex-receiver on the boundary side was stock blocking, not even running a route on that play, which happens in the RPO scheme. And 2nd and 10 now for the Patriots. And our drone coverage brought to you by Sports 360 AZ. As you see Talon Scott in motion now on the left side. Khalil Bender is going to get the ball on the sweep and head out to the left side, but he is brought down with just a short gain. And brought down by Jaron Lyles, who was our offensive playmaker for Queen Creek. But hey, guess what? 132 total tackles as a junior. He's verbally committed to New Mexico, and it's for a defensive back. They just haven't used him a ton because he gets so much run out receiver, pretty much running so many deep routes every play. He comes flying from that secondary, secures a tackle on Bender, and Bender can, once again, he can go too, so that's a heck of a play from Lyles. So much talent on both sides here tonight out in the East Valley. Britt DeWitt to throw. Pressure is on. The catch made. Nice job of hanging on to that for the first down. We'll get a look at who made that contested catch. Had to jump up in the air for it. It's Stetson Agnew, the junior. That's a smart play by Agnew. Watching that replay, he finds the soft spot in the zone. We had so many of the inside backers dropping to that hook curl, corner going deep outside third and long. Finds it right at the sticks. DeWitt puts it right in his chest. And a run play. They go back to the ground for just about a yard there. It's Bobby Nesbitt, the senior. He has 525 yards coming into this game on the season. 3 touchdowns, 159 yards receiving. That's the matchup right there, Jody, that's going to really determine who wins this football game. ALA Queen Creek's 5 offensive linemen versus that Queen Creek defensive front. That Queen Creek defensive front, they will rotate a lot of their offensive linemen in, so they're getting fresher bodies, but guys also playing both ways for the Bulldogs. So 2nd down here, as the previous play had no gain, and another handoff. Nesbitt finding some room out across the 40-yard line. They'll still be a couple yards short. And I like that play call because they don't go away from the run game there. Even though it's 2nd and 10, they still pick up efficient yardage there, picking up 6 to make it a 3rd and manageable. Have to mention here that Rand Jensen, who was a former ALA Queen Creek quarterback back in 2018 and 2019, is now calling plays for the Patriots after the Max Hall situation stepped down a couple weeks ago. And so Rand Jensen, one of the youngest play callers in 6A football now.
And he was a quarterback, did you say?
He was QB1 for the Patriots.
All right, it's going to be a timeout here. 3rd and 4 for the Patriots to regroup. And, of course, that throw to Agnew for the 1st down, that was a big one as they continue to try to move the ball down the field on this first drive of the game. Don't miss a down of CW College Football Saturday. First, it's Washington State taking on number 18 Virginia, followed by Lafayette and Oregon State. Coverage begins Saturday at 3:30 here on CW7 Arizona.
An Oregon State team that is with an interim head coach now. I don't know if you saw, but on Monday, it was like an early preview of what they call Black Monday in the college football, which usually is saved after the season ends. We had 4 coaching changes and some big ones. James Franklin, Penn State. Oregon State fired Coach Bray, and a couple of Trent Dilfer also got the axe. So
wow,
tough day for some head coaches in the college football realm.
It was. I remember Trent Bray when he was at ASU working with his dad Craig. Britt DeWitt swings it out to Talon Scott. He's got the 1st down and more, breaking a couple of tackles and lunging forward down to about the 23-yard line. Big weapon. His father, Travis Scott, played at ASU and in the NFL. He is a big target for Britt DeWitt, no question about that.
Yeah, 6'4", 215, only a sophomore only a junior. He's got a ton of Division I offers, even more interest after he goes through the next wave, the spring eval period. And he has played really, really well against some of the top teams in the state of Arizona this season.
And they have certainly played that competition, hence the record that they have. But hopefully, as Coach Rich Edwards says, it'll make them stronger. And now a carry and down to the 1st down marker. I think it's going to be a 1st down as we see the run game with Nash Hall change of pace. You've got Bobby Nesbitt and Nash Hall getting the carry, the junior.
Yeah, Nesbitt is your lightning. Nash Hall is your thunder. I love this. It works as like an outside stretch play, but he plants his foot and goes north.
And in the red zone, ALA down there, and now 2nd and 10. No gain on that play. A red zone sponsor in tonight's game is Phillips Law Group. Everything you need to win, including a Phillips.
I like the up-tempo right there from the Patriots. Britt DeWitt, a couple plays throughout the series, has gone to the sideline to get that play call from Coach Rand Jensen. That time, though, they went really, really fast catching Queen Creek. They're hoping to catch Queen Creek sleeping and telling them no, though.
So 2nd and 4 now. And DeWitt gets the snap, and it's going to be a timeout for the Bulldogs right here. And you're right, I'm sure it is. It's different when you have, Max Hall was the offensive coordinator here for quite some time, about a decade. And so that's got to be a little bit different for the entire offense.
It really is, especially because Coach Hall worked with these kids pretty much year-round. He was on campus. Office was right next to the head football coach, Rich Edwards. And even in this, it's high school football in the state of Arizona, right? Does it really ever end? It's so much things. But having this school, having the junior high program too, he's been working with his kids for years. The thing I do really like about having Rand Jensen call plays, though, Jody, is him being an alum, but he cares about the program. It's not something where it's a situation where he's like, it doesn't matter too much to him. He lives and breathes Patriot football. He played it, and he wants to continue working up in his coaching career. And what better way than working the ladder than become an OC for a 6A program this early on?
Yeah, like you said, he's young. They know that he is capable of doing this job. All right, here we go now. 2nd and 4 after the timeout. DeWitt and the handoff to Nesbitt, who is going to be stopped short of the end zone. Trying to get up ahead of steam there and turn the corner was Nesbitt.
I like the play design. They go trips to the field, and then they run into the boundary the other side, try to keep Queen Creek if they sink in there and don't hold the edge, that is a walk-in touchdown for Nesbitt, but a good stop. And I believe he picked up, I don't know if the white hat is moving on, it does. So they picked up the first on that, so they'll have first and goal from about, inside the 2-yard line.
Yeah, fresh set of downs here, and a number of plays you can go with. I know, Nesbitt had a huge game against Red Mountain. I think they're just going to give it to him again, and Nesbitt takes it in for the touchdown. The Patriots get on the board first in the Battle of Queen Creek. It's Bobby Nesbitt.
That's a heck of a first drive, too, and he's following the block from his junior tight end, Talon Scott. Does a great job on this right side. Good vision for Nesbitt. One cut, bounces outside, and goes untouched, showing the speed in the vision. Great first drive for the ALA Queen Creek Patriots as they get on the board with the Bobby Nesbitt touchdown.
That is the 4th touchdown of the season for Nesbitt. And in this rivalry game, and we talked about it, Cody, Queen Creek, they haven't won this one in a while. ALA Queen Creek making a statement coming out as the kick is good, and it is 7-0 here in the first quarter. Fiesta Bowl High School Football Showdown out in Queen Creek on this Thursday night on CW7. And we're off to a great start. Stay with us. Patriots lead it 7-0 on the first drive of the game. Let's head down to the field and Lexi Lambert.
Ahead of this season, I got to speak with Queen Creek's Tate and Bear, the tight end, about what they're looking forward to this season. Let's check it out.
Just trusting the process. I think it's we always put in the hard work. I think that's what always separates people, and just trusting in the Lord and trying to become the best you can be, and just coming together as a brotherhood. And we do things a little different. I mean, we're a little old school. We just the hard work, and we get after it.
We were really young, and so it's going to be really gritty football. We're going to have to work really hard to win games, and you can expect our team to play all the way through the 4th quarter.
As you can see, they're really looking forward to this season, and we're going to see them out on the field right now. Back to you guys in the booth.
All right, thanks so much, Lexi. Yeah, that's another big storyline with Queen Creek this year. Obviously, Tate Reynolds going to Clemson to play football and baseball. Just a super athlete, one of the best quarterbacks in the nation when you look at the offers that came his way. But he's injured right now, and Sawyer Hales has come in.
And selfishly, as an Arizona high school football fan, I'm really sad about Tate's injury, because if he would have played this year, he would have shattered some records. He got hurt in that first game out in Vegas, and a game that Bulldogs really dominated. But it has opened the opportunity for Sawyer Hales, who's done everything in his power to play some really good high school football. I think when you look at that sophomore gunslinger, he's been put in a position, Jody, just to go out and play. Just to go out and play and sling it. Once again, it is 6A football, though, right? The speed of it is pretty fast for sophomores, but he's done a very good job. He's made every single part of his opportunity. Hopefully, we do see Tate Reynolds back here at the end of the season.
Logan Hutchinson with the low line drive kick as we see Queen Creek take over now. And it will be Sawyer Hales at the helm. You see Tate. It's hard to miss Tate because he's 6'4", what,
225. Yeah, you had to create a football. I always say if you had to create a football player at high school football, it's Tate Reynolds.
Yeah, and he's over there on the sideline mentoring Sawyer Hales, as our Claudia Collins told us in the pregame show, with a terrific story there. But Sawyer's done a nice job. Travis Sherman says, look, we were old school. We want to pound the ball, but he's a pocket passer. When Tate was in there, he many times would take off running. With Sawyer, you see him have the ball go down the field, as the first play of the night for the Bulldogs is a running play, and that is David Rawson.
Yeah, who's another player who was injured for a couple weeks there. Played his first game back a couple weeks ago before the bye, and they really love having David Rawson back. Before that injury, still running tremendously hard going north to south, but he was a perfect complementary piece to Tate and now Sawyer Hales. He's just a tough, hard-nosed running back. It's a typical Queen Creek Bulldog running back.
And Jackson Evans gets carries as well in this offense. See two receivers to the left side, the near side, and the ball going to Jaron Lyles. You knew they were going to get the ball in his hands every which way they possibly can.
Yeah, and drawn there, it's actually a toss pass to him, which acts like a fly sweep, but that is a pass. His helmet comes off. So Duran's got to come out for one of the most important plays here, the first third down for the Bulldogs offense, where he started, we mentioned here in pregame, Jody, the starting fast or starting slow for teams. ALA Queen Creek in this matchup the last 2 years, they've started tremendously fast, kind of veering that way right now in this first quarter.
And again, the Bulldogs, they have 4 new starters on their offensive line, but you're right. Big play here, 3rd and 5, as Hales is back to pass, finds some room, trying to get the ground game going, but that is going to be short of the first down, and he was hit on the play by number 11 on that defense for the Patriots. That's Cade Rollins.
Yeah, Cade Rollins, and number 7, the other senior, Ryder Stoll. They do a great job of keeping everything in front of them. So they're in their pass drop. There's nothing open. Hills looks to step up, run to pick up the first down in the sticks. Those 2 Patriots defensive players come in and drop the hammer. It's a Patriots defense that graduated 10 players.
Yeah.
You name a high school football team that graduates that many players on defense with that schedule to start, I don't care who they are, they're going to struggle. But now these players have 5 games under their belt, 5-6 games. They're ready to get after it.
They lost 28 seniors, and Israel Carmona is the punter and the kicker for the Bulldogs, and it's a good punt down past the 10, but taken there by ALA Queen Creek. Great punt. Nash Proctor fielding that one.
And that's Asher Howard flying down there, making the tackle. The sophomore linebacker, who's also Coach Scott Howard's kid, coaches a little bit. He's actually coached kind of everything for Queen Creek. He was once the offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach. He's got a defensive background, coaches a little bit of defense now.
Former Florence head
football coach. Yep, he's awesome. And his kid Asher, can't believe he's already in high school. Thinking that, I bet Coach Howard, when he must have been, Asher was 8 or 9 years old. So kind of a nostalgic old moment for me.
Well, yeah, out at practice with you the other day, you knew all the coaches, and I got to meet a bunch of them as well, including Scooter Molander, who's been just a legend in high school football, now the offensive coordinator here. And that pass is going to be incomplete. DeWitt looking for Stetson Agnew.
Yeah, Lachlan Gear, the junior outside linebacker, put his hands up there to make the errant pass. But now I'm looking for the Queen Creek defense just to settle down. You know, ALA Queen Creek offensively, a great first drive. But now as a Bulldogs defense, just play Bulldog football. And this is, you mentioned the Corona del Sol game, very slow start for the Bulldogs as well. Slow down, just play Bulldog defense.
Yeah, they had a fumble early in that game. Here, DeWitt going to hand the ball off and getting some room and running past the 40 is Bobby Nesbitt. Will he be stopped at all? He goes out of bounds past midfield. Boy, when Bobby Nesbitt gets going, you just can't stop him.
Yeah, he gets a tremendous block from his center. McKay Jensen off the snap, literally just moves the D tackle to the right, creates a massive gap. Bobby Nesbitt cuts it outside, and those turbo jets. He is electrifying. Last year, him and the other senior tailback, Bobby Brown, were amazing running back tandem. This year, Bobby Nesbitt really getting the RB1 duos here, and he's taking the most of it.
Nice job by that offensive line, creating some room for Nesbitt to get past that first layer. Now a little pitch outside to Nash Hall, and not a lot of room there as the gang tackle takes him back past the line of scrimmage. A host of tacklers there to meet Nash Hall. Asher Howard. I'll tell you, you mentioned Scott's son, Asher Howard. Boy, he really popped on film watching that Corona game, whether it was being right there with the receiver in coverage or stepping up to stop the run.
And once again, we're talking about a sophomore. I feel like every single week, the class of 2028, the sophomore class in the state of Arizona, I think it's going to turn out pretty good because some of the top players on all these big teams are only sophomores, and he's one of them.
So now second down, DeWitt to pass, and looking for Nesbitt, incomplete. Kind of looking for that spot in that zone, and Nesbitt curling in toward the middle, but in coverage there was Charles Rodriguez, the senior.
And Nesbitt did get turned on that play by the linebacker, but it was tipped off the line. Anytime there's a tip, it's full game. You can grab those receivers all you want. It's actually a really smart play. Bulldogs starting to transition in some of their starting offensive line group into that defensive front. So now in is Derek Warden and Isaiah Forney, both guys true collegiate prospects. Derek Warden is actually verbally committed to the University of New Mexico.
On third down, DeWitt rolling to his left, looking downfield, and it is caught there. Making the catch is Khalil Bender, and a flag is also down. But a key third down right there, and going to Bender, who again, we've told you had to sit the first 5, but really making an impact, and we expect him to do that for the rest of the season here.
And great protection up front for the Patriots offensive line. They went max pro onto that field side, so it gave DeWitt some time to roll left, set his feet, throw an accurate dart to Khalil Bender, who runs that comeback route really, really well. Does a great job of getting on the defensive back's heels, and then obviously coming back to the football and attacking it. Something that not all high school football players at receiver do is attacking the ball, getting that target just a little bit more available for your quarterback. Khalil Bender's one of the best at doing it. And Brent DeWitt, who's also a Division I commit, verbally committed to the University of Idaho. We have a ton of these Division I commits out here tonight. Puts a great spin on it to move the sticks.
Really are. A couple Idaho, New Mexico. DeWitt, quick pass, swings it out to the right side, and it's Nash Proctor, who then was met by a couple of tacklers, including Ty Hill. Again, the helmet comes off, so Nash Proctor will go out for a play.
Very simple arrow with double stock block towards the outside, working field. Get your athletes to the ball in space. It's very typical ALA Queen Creek offensive scheme. And gets about, I don't know, I haven't moved the sticks there, maybe about 3 yards on first down.
It was Jamal Jones that made the tackle there. Personal foul on the Patriots. That's going to hurt.
I think that might be the first penalty on the Patriots team, but that is a drive killer because that is a post play. And I believe that's after the play, so we should have second down. That should not be a replay downs, and yes, the sticks are 10. So instead of a 2nd and 7 situation, they'll move back all the way to about 2nd and 19.
Yeah, I mean, that's just tough, and coaches hate to see that with penalties that happen after the play. So now, of course, the call sheet changes, needing 19 yards for the first down, and DeWitt hands it off to Nash Hall, who does a nice job of following some blocks.
And my first time watching Nash Hall this season. I like the way he runs. Great hole on that right side, but look at the stiff arm too, and as you can see, continuing to move his feet through contact. He's listed 5'8", 200 pounds, very strong lower body. He is bringing it right now. It's a couple carries where Nash Hall's picked up 10 to 15 yards, Jody, and now after that 2nd and 19, they're 3rd and manageable.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what they needed, as DeWitt looking to throw, looking to go to the end zone, and a touchdown to Khalil Bender. His impact being felt in this one. The senior transfer from McClintock hauls in the pass from Britt DeWitt.
And Jody, watch the high point right here. It goes up top shelf over the Queen Creek defensive back. Great high point, catches with 2 hands. Tremendous protection up front for Britt DeWitt. Has all the time in the world to throw, sets his feet, and drops in a dime in the bucket. And Khalil Bender goes up and gets it, climbs the ladder for his first touchdown in an ALA Queen Creek Patriots uniform.
Yeah, he got his feet wet in that DB game, but didn't get a whole lot of playing time, as the kick is good. A kick from Hayden Holman, and Khalil Bender, that's special for him. Like you said, first touchdown in a Patriots uniform. Been through a lot to get to this point. to come over here and be part of this Patriots team. So happy to see him making it. And boy, he's going to be a game changer. There's no.
And really quick there too, Jody. I love the play design. 3rd and 4. You've been attacking the sticks throughout the first quarter. You have the deep routes. A backside post kind of catches the back safety for Queen Creek sleeping on that boundary. Great high point for Bender and tremendous play call.
The NASCAR Championship is coming to Phoenix November 1st, and no one takes you around the track like Devin Henry. Tomorrow, you can catch his show, Sport of Speed, right after the Arizona Daily here on CW7 Arizona. It all starts at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Short kick, and the Bulldogs take it down past the 40. And with the ball there is Caden Kellogg, senior returner, who averages about 19 yards per return.
This is a really important drive for the Bulldogs offense right here. You need to answer. I mean, you're going to get the ball at half, right? So it becomes a possession game, but you need successful possessions that end in points. Right now, the Patriots offense is having their way here early in the first half. Bulldogs got to respond here, Jody.
I think it really speaks to your pregame key, which was keeping that momentum going from that DV game as the Patriots were showing blitz, and it looks like it's going to be offsides.
And their defensive side of the football here, when you look at their schedule, they have struggled. And talking to their defense coordinator, Coach Verensky, who's been here for a very, very long time, he kind of knew just because of the youth and the inexperience. The guys who graduated off this defense, it wasn't like they were one-year starters. These guys were 2- and 3-year starters. They played 30-plus high school football games. It was a very veteran group. So, yeah, they knew they were going to struggle, but I think in situations like something like that, right? You can't jump off sides. That is giving free momentum to Quinn Creek there, right? Putting them in 1st and 5 situations, opening up the whole playbook. It's just continuously they shot themselves in the foot those first 5 games. They're looking to clean that up here in the second.
And so far, so good, despite the last 2 penalties being theirs, as it's Hales and making the catch for the first down. It's Jaron Lyles, I should say. Nice catch right there, having to go down into a crouch to make the catch.
Yeah, he's so talented. He makes the first player miss. He's super athletic with that frame and that speed. Really, if he gets the ball in space, watching his film throughout this season, he is electrifying. He really is one of the top 6A wide receivers in the state of Arizona. He makes things happen when he catches the rock.
Yeah, he's got 7 touchdowns on the season, had a 99-yard touchdown catch against Boulder Creek earlier this year. So fresh set of downs here, and Hales back to throw. Pressure coming, tries to get that ball off. But again, you could see the Patriots defense making it difficult on him.
Yeah, Caden Kellogg was the intended target on that boundary side. I like the look. You have the one-on-one. Corner was inside in a cover 0 press there. He beats him to the outside, had a good 2 or 3 steps behind him. Just a little overthrown by Hales there. A.L.A. Queen Creek's defense, I've been here since 2017. They bring the house more than any defense that I've seen. They're in cover 0 and cover 1 a lot, and they don't Raider it too much either. They show it pre-snap. So there's going to be quite a few situations where they'll have one-on-one on the outside.
So on second down, a handoff to the running back, David Rawson. Keeps his feet moving and looks like he got a couple of yards after the first contact. But tough sledding inside.
He got wrapped up there right at the line of scrimmage. David Rawson did a good job of shrugging that off and picking up 5 to make it a 3rd and short situation. There's about 2 or 3 Patriots right out on that delayed handoff.
So Rawson goes out. Jackson Evans checks in as the first quarter is winding down. And it is 3rd and 5. The Patriots crowd gets a little noisy. And it's DeWitt. He's pressured, hit, gets the ball off, almost picked off there by Caden Arrieta.
Yeah, and they had the senior defensive end, one of the only starter back from that last year's team, Corey Nunnery. coming off, making the errant pass, goes right into Hale's thing, and here's a big first call here. So you're sitting at the 37. I was wondering if Coach Sherman was going to go for it here. 4th and 5, need to have it. Queen Creek looks like they're going to attempt this 4th down play.
Yeah, it doesn't really surprise me because as the quarter winds down here again, a lot of times coaches will elect to go for it on 4th down, but you're right, got to have it type of play. As we see a timeout, and it's playoff season in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. The top drivers looking to tear up the track, and Talladega Raceway will take you trackside for all the action live this Saturday. Coverage begins at 12:30 right here on CW7.
I was with our Devin Henry last week broadcasting the game of the week, Sunny Slope Dobson, and he was on fire with those NASCAR promos. Heck, he was on one of the last promos there. He's one of the most talented NASCAR reporters.
Yeah.
I haven't met many of them, but he's got to be one of the best. He is so special. He's very, very special talent. I heard the racetrack in Phoenix is pretty cool. I've never been.
Oh gosh, you got to get out there.
Is it cool?
We got to get Latasha Kazi, who is the president of Phoenix Raceway, to take you out there. She's amazing. And yeah, but Devin, he's terrific. You're right. And the passion is just off the charts for racing. So, all right, here we go. 4th and 5. Sawyer Hales takes the snap. Flags fly.
I think that got the Patriots to jump there. That would be a 1st down.
And that was probably the best case scenario for the Bulldogs, right?
Don't even need to run the play. That's the 2nd jump. We talk about self-inflicted wounds, Jody. That's what ALA's done.
It's keeping this drive alive because, again, they had a 1st and 19.
Just the D tackle, and I think they'll still coming in the B gap there. It's self-inflicted wounds. That is a huge play to continue the Queen Creek offensive drive here, and we talk about the momentum swing. That's big.
So new life here for the Bulldogs as the drive continues. Hale's gonna throw, and off target right there. You can just feel like that rush is coming. A flag flew in. We'll see what the penalty is, but I mean, Sawyer Hales, in watching his film, he's usually more accurate than this, but you can see the pressure and the effect it's having.
And I believe this is going to be a defensive pass interference, and I think I think the corner on that side kind of just stopped Jerron Lyles' his route and his tracks here. I love these aerials thing. I can see everything. So Jerron Lyles working outside, kind of gets grabbed up top. It's a great shot from the aerial coverage, brought to you by Sports 260 AZ, by the way. And that is they're going to call it right in front of the field judge there on the side judge. That's going to get called every time.
You're right. Jaden Brewer has the task of guarding Lyles there, and it's just tough. That was one of my keys coming in is who are you going to put on Lyles? Are you going to switch it up? And that was a big matchup to watch, and it will continue to be here.
I wouldn't be surprised if they put Khalil Bender in the secondary either. We saw him practice there when we were at practice on Tuesday. Maybe mix him in a little bit in the secondary.
So 1st and 10, and Hales is picked off. Interception thrown by Hales, and taking it back with some speed for ALA Queen Creek is Bryce Devlin, the free safety.
And he was just spying out there, playing a true center field. And as DeWitt works across to the field there, just spies him and jumps that route. Huge interception from the Patriots secondary. What a first quarter for ALA Queen Creek.
It sure is. Turnovers a key in this one, as Cody predicted. And it's ALA Queen Creek with a 14-0 lead. More coming your way right after the break.
Alvarez? Who's Alvarez?
Corporal Alvarez.
Corporal Alvarez. Well done. Thank you, sir.
Beyond game day, you'll find the Fiesta Sports Foundation working year-round to improve Arizona communities. in education, in youth programs, in sports. With more than 1 million Arizonans supported in 2024 and over 32 million in charitable donations since 2011. With your help, we'll go above and beyond in everything we do. Fiesta Sports Foundation. Our season never ends.
The Fiesta Bowl High School Football Showdown on CW7 Arizona is brought to you by Chapman Automotive Group. Visit chapmanaz.com. Desert Financial Credit Union. We believe in contributing to the community and our members. And Phillips Law Group. Everything you need to win, including a Phillips.
Let's go around Arizona for some highlights. Hamilton versus Highland in the Fiesta Sports Foundation Copper State Invitational Championship. How about this? Caden Kisler hits a move and gone. See you later, 24-yard touchdown right there. And then how about a triple handoff to find Samaya Taylor-Jenkins. Marley Phillips made that throw. And then Highland touchdown to make it a little bit closer here, but Hamilton wins it 40-15. That's 28 straight wins for Hamilton. We'll send it back to you up in the booth, Cody and Jody.
Yeah, they are a juggernaut. In fact, I did the Red Mountain Mountain Ridge game last night, and Red Mountain won that one. They are the only team that really challenged Hamilton last year in the championship. So back to the boys tonight on this Thursday, and another flag flies.
I'm glad, because now I can get my girls flag football piece in here.
Yeah, what do you got?
Amazing talent across the state. Oh my goodness. And yes, you are crushing it on the girls flag football broadcast. I know you're doing a couple more here throughout the season. The ladies, not only is there so much talent on so many different teams, they're starting to get scholarships, because the NCAA keeps sanctioning more and more, and they'll continue to do so. And I think that's the coolest thing, that some of these girls are going to get their colleges paid for playing girls flag football. That's amazing.
Get to play the sport that they love, as the penalty takes the Patriots back another 5, so it's 1st and 15. And DeWitt, the handoff here. Bobby Nesbitt is going to take it down to the 40-yard line. A burst of speed down the sideline.
I think you see the growth of Bobby Nesbitt here. Last year he was, hey, I'm going to get to the outside, beat the corner. Watch this cut right here. That is perfect vision, and then another cut too to get north. But I think last year he was relying on so much speed to the outside, and this year the patience and the vision he shows, the speed is still there, but that vision's made him such a phenomenal running back, really one of the top running backs in all of 6A football. Great space, another good block for the outside. He's lighting it up.
He has been so impressive as DeWitt throws. Khalil Bender wide open. There was a defender closing. It was Asher Howard, but wow, on the outside, one-on-one, Bender wins.
Yeah, Bender just gets open, and the jump from 5A to 6A is massive, but with Khalil Bender playing receiver, the way he creates separation, you're still talking about high school football. He was one of the best at creating separation the last 2 years in the state of Arizona. I think it's a very seamless transition into this receiving core here, and he's lighting it up. They really were missing a key piece like that in those first 5 games. He obviously having to sit because of the transfer. He's going to be a major impact player for him here the second half of the season.
And now in the red zone, another handoff, but that time finding no yardage because of the nice play by R.J. Jackson, the senior linebacker, making the play for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, 6 foot, 230-pound R.J. Jackson, who's played a lot of football for the Quinn Creek Bulldog family, and his dad, Coach Joe Jackson, obviously being a longtime coach with Travis Sherman. R.J. making a big play for the defense when they needed it most.
Our red zone sponsor in tonight's game is Phillips Law Group. Everything you need to win, including a Phillips. Second down now for the Patriots. It's DeWitt. It's a discussion, and now back to throw. Going to throw it up to Bender again. He makes the catch. What a set of hands. Bender, his second touchdown catch of the night from DeWitt, and ALA Queen Creek scores their 3rd touchdown of the night.
Yeah, Khalil Bender slow plays off the line right here, and then works outside release. Britt DeWitt puts it on the money. Look at that shot, and another two-hand high-point grab by the senior wide receiver. Britt DeWitt right now at quarterback with that amount of time to throw is lighting up the Bulldogs defense. And Khalil Bender in those one-on-one situations, they call them 50-50 balls, Jody. When you're throwing it to Khalil Bender, it's close to 100-0. He is going to make that catch almost 10 times out of 10.
I mean, he is putting on a show here tonight. And in talking to Nathan LeDuc, with a pretty nice career of his own, his dad he's the father of a player on this team. But boy, he said Khalil Bender is just a terrific athlete. We're seeing it here. I know he's got an offer from NAU. I mean, there are a number of schools, I think, that would love to have Khalil Bender on their collegiate team.
Yeah, he is a current verbal commit of NAU, and when he transferred, there was they really pushed for him not to miss any games. His story and his family situation, Richard Obert wrote an article about it this week in AZ Central. It's a tough situation, and they really felt like they had the hardship. Regardless, the AI didn't view it that way. He had missed 5, but the thing I loved about NAU is they kept his commitment. They said, hey, we're going to stick through you. We would believe in you. But you are correct, Jody. I love NAU. I'm an NAU alum. Khalil Bender puts together some really good tape this senior year. More colleges and schools might come calling.
Yeah, he's been outstanding, just getting started. And following tonight's game, be sure to stick around for Police 24/7, only on CW7 Arizona. Ride shotgun with officers for an inside look at law enforcement on the job. It's unexpected, intense, raw, and always unforgettable. Police 24/7 tonight on CW7 Arizona as the Bulldogs take the kick back, and pretty good coverage. Another look at that aerial coverage, Sports 360 AZ, and it's been all Patriots in this one. But boy, Queen Creek, it's far from over. There is a ton of football to be played. It's just 10 minutes left here in the second quarter. So I'm interested to see what they're going to be able to do. Like you said, with many of the keys, it involves not shooting yourself in the foot, and I think that's really what Queen Creek has to worry about. And the handoff once again to David Rawson.
In Queen Creek football, they're going to continue to run the football. I mean, that is Bulldog football to a T, and you're correct. 21-0 where everything has gone wrong. I think the best thing for this offense and Sawyer Hales is just to continue to make easy reads and throws for him, gain some confidence in the sophomore gunslinger, and with that, still establishing the run. They have 2 very solid running backs in the backfield. They have a powerful offensive line. Don't go away from that. Continue that, and it's going to make Sawyer's job a heck of a lot easier and some easy throws.
A big challenge for Sawyer, just a sophomore, stepping in and doing a nice job. Second down, back to pass, pressure coming. He is hit, sacked by Cade Rollins. And that has been the problem for Hales and this offense, is just the pressure on dropbacks by the Patriots.
Yeah, Rollins shot out of a cannon. The 200-pound senior middle linebacker, great hit too, gets his head on the left side and drives his feet through contact, bringing down Hales. And LA Queen Creek, like I mentioned, they bring pressure. They bring the house. They love bringing that second level and A, B, and C gaps. And LA Queen Creek linebackers, they have always been fast. They are always fast. They're always physical. And they will blitz at all times.
So Hales to pass and finding his man, but short of the first down. On third down, it was, of course, 3rd and long, is Levi Johnson, the sophomore.
That's a good ball from Hales, too, and he was able to get a block from David Rawson. A deep comeback route, and unfortunately, because of the sack, it's going to bring up a punt. And so how about the Patriots defense? A defense that's really kind of taken its licks in the first half of the season, playing lights out here. Numerous sacks, had the interception in the end zone. It's a good showing for that young ALA Queen Creek defense.
Yeah, they're really growing. You know, you can't help but learn from some of the challenges they faced with the competition that they faced in the first 6 weeks. And like we've said, 1 and 5 doesn't really tell their story, but they are a very young team. And we've got a couple whistles here as the Bulldogs set up to punt, and they are going to be moving deeper into their own, or moving back into their own territory here. Back to punt is Israel Carmona, the sophomore. Gets the punt off. It is high, and it is going to be taken down by the Patriots, and finding room is Nash Proctor. Gets out to about the 45. And following tonight's game, be sure to stick around for Police 24/7, only on CW7 Arizona. Ride shotgun with officers for an inside look at law enforcement on the job. It's unexpected, intense, raw, and always unforgettable. Police 24/7 tonight on CW7 Arizona. So 1st and 10 now for the Patriots to get to work once again. And Khalil Bender has shown he has been such a weapon here tonight. Britt DeWitt, now some flags fly. The handoff, there's some pushing. Bobby Nesbitt with the ball in his hand.
A.L.A. Queen Creek, they have played tremendous here in the first 16, 17 minutes. There's one thing you clean up, it's the penalties.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's been about 3 or 4 now on both sides of the football. Pre-snap penalties or offsides on the defense. Those are cleanup talks here at halftime for them. But outside of that, they've moved the ball at will. And I believe the pass protection has been really the key to this story. That offensive line group for A.L.A. Queen Creek has played its best game of the season so far in this first half.
So now, 1st and 15 from the 38, and the handoff goes nowhere as the stop was made. That time the Bulldogs swarming Nesbitt.
They slow play that handoff. Britt DeWitt looking, kind of surveying an RPO look. The problem is there's about 3 Queen Creek defensive players not blocked. One of those guys being the senior outside backer, Clint Jensen, just waiting open arms for Nesbitt as he makes that tackle for loss.
So Patriots going backwards here, 2nd and 17, but they have shown they can throw the ball downfield. DeWitt goes short here to Bender, who shows off the speed. Still going to need about 10 yards to gain the first, but about a 6 or 7 yard gain there on the connection from DeWitt to Bender.
It's still such a great play design. So Bender comes from the boundary side, almost like an H-back. He comes behind the offensive line. It's a naked boot, and standing there in the slot towards the field, Jody, is another receiver who kind of just acts as like a pick, like in basketball. Just stands there, picks the flat guy who gets sucked inside on that play action. Bender's got all the space in the world right there. Easy pitch and catch for DeWitt, and they pick up 7.
And with the penalty, it's still 3rd and 10. So DeWitt throwing as the rush comes his way, and it falls incomplete, but a flag comes in. Looked like he was maybe trying to get the ball to Talon Scott.
Yeah, and that field side corner who was lined up over Khalil Bender just kind of was draping Bender, and that's going to be a defensive pass interference and a Patriots first down. So kind of a backbreaker there for the Queen Creek defense.
Both teams have had penalties, but it has certainly hurt the Bulldogs more, as you can see from the scoreboard. So first down Patriots here. The other thing in this matchup, and again, we've talked about the storyline of Tate Reynolds' injury. Sawyer Hills has done a nice job helping the Bulldogs to the 4-2 record, but Britton DeWitt, you know, he's a senior. He's seen and played so much more football. So regardless of Hale's talent, you know, the experience goes to DeWitt in this particular matchup.
And once again, the offense has done fine, and they've done fine without some of their top weapons because they're waiting for the transfer to be over, and DeWitt has still lit it up this year.
So Nesbitt goes out wide and is the short option for DeWitt. Gets the ball to him, but the tackle is made. Asher Howard gets it done with a little bit of help there from Ty Hill.
Yeah, they're going max pro here, and DeWitt shows how comfortable he is outside the pocket. He's not, in terms of like RPO and some read action stuff, DeWitt can run the ball, but he wants to throw the rock downfield. He does a really good job of utilizing as much time as possible, letting his wide receivers get open, using those eyes to kind of dissect the secondary, and he's lit it up here tonight.
2nd and 3, 2 backs to his right, and the carry goes to Nash Hall, who spins and gets down to about the 21-yard line.
You hear this phrase with running backs, Jody, oh, he's slippery, and that's pretty good. That's a pretty good way to break down Nash Hall here tonight. I mean, he's just spinning and slipping off would-be tacklers, running his feet through contact, and going north. About 3 or 4 carries now for Nash Hall, and he's well over the 40-yard mark.
He is certainly a nice change-up from Nesbitt, and they both do a good job complementing one another. So it's a first down. Patriots keep the chains moving. DeWitt gonna throw. Nice protection there, and into the end zone for Stetson Agnew, and it's a touchdown for the Patriots. 3rd passing touchdown of the night for Britt DeWitt.
Give him the hat trick here in the first half. Britt DeWitt surveys the secondary, looks at Khalil Bender, who sits in the soft spot first, and then has backside post. Agnew does a great job of using his frame to shield that defensive back into the end zone. High points the rock, catches it with 2 hands once again, Jody. And a huge touchdown catch. The Patriots offense is on absolute fire, Jody. They're a perfect 4 for 4 here in this football game.
It has been quite something to watch as Hayden Holman puts up the extra point, and it is 28-0 in the Battle of Queen Creek as DeWitt to Agnew for the score. Welcome back. There's a look at Queen Creek Bulldog Tate Reynolds with the leg injury, and Cody, we know he's headed to Clemson, not only to play football, stud quarterback here in the state of Arizona, also plays baseball and is planning to play both at Clemson.
Yeah, state champion baseball player too. He is one of the best athletes in the entire state of Arizona, so unfortunate that he's missed so many football games his senior year. But here's a really cool shot and something that's pretty awesome. Tate Reynolds is already on some cards. How about
there
this?
You go.
Getting the football there, courtesy of the Monster Card Shop out here in Queen Creek. He is a superstar in the world of NIL and everything. Going to Clemson to play football, especially at the quarterback position, and his baseball talent. That name, likeness, and image is going to be on full display during his college career.
Yeah, and he's such an example of the talent here in Arizona as the return is bobbled a bit there for the Bulldogs. But, yeah, Tate, and, the good news is he's going to be back. I think, we don't have a timeline, but he'll play football at some point this season, we hope, for the Bulldogs.
And he's been so active as being a leader to Sawyer and the other offensive guys, and at practice, he's participating and very, very vocal. But when you miss him playing, the thing that makes Tate really, really special, and not that he's so versatile and so much of the offense runs around him, but when he's playing, the other guys around him get fired up, and losing that presence, I think, and Queen Creek's done fine. They're 4-2 right now, and they're still a very, very good football team. But with Tate, I think it's just some of those games that are kind of close in certain situations. I think they really start blowing teams out when Tate comes back.
Yeah, I mean, he's just electric with the ball in his hands, running as well as passing. Flags fly as Hales pitches the ball to David Rawson, but let's see what the penalty is here. It's going to go against the Patriots, and it'll be 1st and 5 for Queen Creek as they take over here, giving them a little bit of wiggle room, but not a whole lot as they are going to have the ball at the 16. So a big hole to dig out of here, down by 4 touchdowns, as Hales spins and hands it off to David Rawson, who gets out past the first down marker, so a nice run there off the left side.
Yeah, just kind of offset behind Sawyer there, and David takes the little counter rock, picks up the first, move in, and with 4 minutes left, you still have plenty of time. But Jody, they got to go down and put some points on the board. One, go into halftime with that, but you also get the second half kickoff. So a potential 14-point swing here for the Bulldogs. Got to capitalize on this drive.
I mean, we've seen DeWitt to Bender. The electric connection for Queen Creek is usually Hales to Lyles, but they haven't been able to really connect on that too much. Here is Hales down to pass to Lyles, looking for the ball, and it is defended there by Jaden Brewer. Lyles can't haul it in.
Yeah, sophomore defensive back there, Jaden Brewer, with some good makeup speed because Lyles has a step or two on him. Got a little handsy there. Good shot of it right there, but makeup speed plays through the hands. And you're right, I think the pressure that Sawyer is facing, he's not really able to step into it, which on the flip side, Britt DeWitt, because he has that time, he's able to make so much accurate passes. I don't know if Britt DeWitt has maybe only 1 or 2 incompletions in this entire first half, but with Sawyer's facing some serious heat, can't really step into it and get as much power behind his throws.
So second down now, and Hales does have a completion to Bear Fisher, his first catch of the night, the tight end, who is Tate Reynolds' cousin.
Oh, there we go. That's a good family
family connection.
That is the player right there. Bear Fisher, who's a University of Utah commit, 6'6", 240. That's the player to get going, because when ALA Queen Creek is bringing the house from that second level or bringing any types of pressure, Bear Fisher's one of those players that can find the soft spot, be a high target for Sawyer Hales to find and throw to. That is the player the Queen Creek Bulldog offense would like to get going here for the next 2.5 quarters.
Yeah, he's got 22 receptions now on the season, just over 238 yards. And now it's going to be Rawson once again, trying to find some room out to the right, and does string it out a bit. Tackle made there by the Patriots, but not before a nice gain.
Yeah, talking to Coach Wrensky, the defense coordinator, he personally took some blame for some of their first 5 games and scheme. Once again, he was dealt with so many new players here, new scheme, tough schedule. The thing about playing some of those teams that they started off with, the Hamiltons of the world and the Liberties of the world, Chandlers, when you play some of the other 6A teams, you've already seen the best of the best, Jody.
Rawson takes the ball and goes up the middle. Short gain, and it is going to be third down, 3rd and 3. So another big situation right now on 3rd down for this Bulldogs offense. Can they come up with a big play here?
I gotta mention, it is fall break for ALA Queen Creek, but you would not know it. We got packed stands on both sides, and the cowbells are rocking here in front of us.
You're right, yeah, they are still on break. I feel like most of the schools in the Valley came back this week, but it's getting noisy on this side, and the pressure comes for Hales. It's picked off. Big man touchdown as the Patriots defense comes up with the play, and it is a pick 6. Rex Curtis, the senior, takes it back. Wow, Cody, he was rumbling down the field, and boy, it feels like the route is on now for the Patriots. The crowd is fired up.
ALA Queen Creek brings the house, and right there, Rex Curtis spying Hales, jumps right in front of Jerron Lyles, and how about the cut to fall on his brigade, and the party in the end zone. The Patriots defense coming here to play their second takeaway of the game, and Rex Curtis, the senior defensive tackle, a moment he will never forget.
Yeah, that was pretty special. Got in the end zone. The senior has been a big part of that defensive line this year, but found his way into the end zone here tonight for the Patriots. And you're right, the choreography was pretty impressive as well.
But here's the thing about the play call. You look at the situation, 3rd and short, it's an amazing play call. If they can get that off to Lyles, he waltzes into the end zone. All of the Queen Creek offensive linemen are out in front of him. And if they can connect to that, that is a touchdown for the Bulldogs. The problem is Rex Curtis working that D tackle position. He is spying Hales. And Hales dumps it off there right to where he is assuming Lyles is. Curtis steps right in front of it. And like you called the big man touchdown. It's just crazy how that play developed, because if I'm Bulldog fans, Bulldog Nation, it's a great play call. Bad execution. Yeah. But if that connected, Lyles would have scored regardless, because the Patriots brought about 7 to 8 players on there. They were total cover zero mode.
And the second interception of the night, and this Patriots defense has been just as much of a story as the offense and their consistent play from DeWitt here tonight. So now it's 35-0 Patriots here with 1:40 left in the first half. And the Bulldogs are going to have another chance at it here before the half. Did you miss any part of tonight's game? Well, you'll get a chance to see it all again this Saturday night on CW7 Arizona, which you can see on YouTube TV, Hulu Plus Live, Fubo, Direct Stream, and of course at CW7AZ.com. I have a feeling out here in Queen Creek, the ALA crowd may be more tuned in to this one so far. But you never know what's going to happen in the second half, and you never know what's going to happen in the final minute and a half.
I have been to a Queen Creek football game 2021 where they were trailing 21-0 to Liberty High School, and they came in the second half and won it, so you are correct.
And Hales airs it out. Bear Fisher got a hand on it. I like the idea there. That would have been a huge chunk of yardage down the field to Bear Fisher, but could not quite corral the pass.
Yeah, unfortunately now, being down 35-0, it does halt a lot of the Bulldog football running game, right? I mean, now it's try to put points on the board as fast as possible. And just the way this is played out, Patriots kind of sitting back and just feasting.
We've continued to see the matchup of Brewer on Lyles over to the left side, the short pass as Lyles, he finds Lyles over there. And in fact, Brewer was on the near side, so yeah, that's one thing this offense, you've got to have Lyles involved, right?
Yeah, have to, and this play's going to call back for holding on the offensive line, so just kind of everything that could go possibly wrong in this first half for the Bulldogs, it has. I'm mentioning going back, a Travis Sherman Quinn Creek football team is way too prideful, though, to not still be in this football game. And I would like to see, once again, have Sawyer Hales just find confident pass routes here and have the easy throws.
1:19 left in the half, and tonight's drone coverage is brought to you by Sports 360 AZ. For the most complete coverage of high school sports in Arizona, visit sports360az.com. And they continue to move backwards here, the Bulldogs do. It's going to be 2nd and 20. Making it tough to try to drive down the field with what's left, which is about 80 seconds of play, as Hales looks to throw and didn't have really a receiver in the spot he was looking to throw, as Caden Kellogg was going deep, and the shorter route run by Levi Johnson.
I think another important note, too, is you work the entire offseason, and once again, Sawyer only being a sophomore, how many first-team reps did he have with a lot of these receivers, right? Because Tate was taking so much of them. The chemistry had to be built during the season. I think you've seen a little bit of lack of that here in the season.
3rd and 20, Hales rolls out, and it is complete, I believe, to Lyles, but wow, Lyles was surrounded by defenders.
Yeah, heck of a throw, too, by Hales, just throwing a bullet in between 3 defenders as Lyles finds a spot, and a 4th and 6. And here we go, Queen Creek lining up to go for it.
Well, nice play and execution on that last one. Now he's rolling to the left is Hales and throws deep, and the catch is made over there by Levi Johnson, and that is going to be good for a first down.
And Jody, that's one of the hardest throws for a right-handed quarterback to make, rolling left, setting his feet, and throwing that deep comeback route. They had a switch route right there. It's kind of a shorter scissors route concept. Inside slot working more field turf space there, finding the opening, and a great throw by Sawyer. That's tremendous. There we go. Give him a little pitch and catch and show that arm talent, because he showed it on tape, really. The first 6 games, he's done a good job of slinging it.
And Levi Johnson came into the game with 2 catches. He's got more than that here tonight as Hales tries to find some space. He's going to air it out, going deep down the field, and there's definitely a flag, and it looks like it's going to be defensive pass interference. We shall see, as the target there was Bear Fisher.
More of that. Great pass pro up front, giving Sawyer as much time as possible. Bear Fisher working down in a one-on-one, and yes, the LA Queen Creek defensive back just face guarding and grabbing Bear Fisher down. In high school football, that's only a 15-yard penalty, so as a secondary player, it's not a bad penalty. If Bear Fisher have an opportunity to catch that, potentially score, drag him down, just take the 15 yards.
So still some time here as Hales is going to hand it off to David Rawson, who will get he'll get the first down and a couple more, as we've got about 20 seconds on the clock now.
And clock stops for the chain to set.
And now a timeout, as the Bulldogs are just trying to put some points on the board before the half. It certainly hasn't gone. I know you and I were expecting a pretty tight game. At least I was. You know, I knew what the Patriots were capable of, and that they hadn't really had a chance to show it in the form of a win, except for last week against DV.
And going to the practice on Tuesday out here at LA Queen Creek, they said it wasn't a morale of a 1-5 team. I think they were a confident group. And why wouldn't they? They've won this game the last 2 years, and I think having those games under their belt that they played, I think they felt like they were fine in this game.
So second down, and Hales is picked off once again. It was intended for Lyles, but it's going to be another interception for the Patriots, and that's Nash Cahoon, the senior.
Yeah, they were just spying. And right now, with Lyles being, wide receiver 1, 2, and 3, gets inside. And, God, yeah, just a great job by the senior outside backer, Nash Cahoon. Drops right in that zone, picks off Hales. It's the 3rd INT for the ALA Queen Creek defense in the first half.
Such a big night defensively with the pressure. That time it was just being on the backside of it. And that's the problem, though, when you are trying to get the ball to Lyles and you're trying to force it, especially in this situation, you have to take that chance. And unfortunately for Sawyer Hales, it turns out to be the 3rd interception of the night. So just about 7 seconds left here as DeWitt, short pass incomplete, as Bender was crossing through.
Yeah, try a rocket screen there, and Queen Creek defensive lineman did a good job of getting their hands up, tipping that pass away. But how about that Patriots defense? There's so much talk throughout the season, even today, seeing articles and stuff like that about ALA Queen Creek being one of the least impressive teams, or the teams that people didn't expect to have a 1-5 start and stuff like that. And they are answering all questions right now.
Well, how about this, Cody? They didn't have an interception coming into this game.
3 of them in the first half.
They have 3 tonight, but I was talking to Nate LeDuc about that, and I said, I can't believe it. And he said, we are getting better each week. And speaking of interceptions, to end the half, looked like Britt DeWitt with a little miscommunication with the receiver, and it ends up being a Bulldog pick.
Well, he got absolutely drilled by senior linebacker R.J. Jackson, who came unevaded to the quarterback and put a lick right in the chest, total legal hit to right in the chest of Britt DeWitt. That was about the only mistake that ALA Queen Creek made in that first half. What an incredible first half for Britt DeWitt. 3 first-half touchdowns, and the defense lighting up 3 picks. Amazing showing. Best first half of the season for the Patriots.
Absolutely, and carrying over the 49 points they scored against Desert Vista. So right now we're going to go down to field level and send it down to Lexi.
I'm down here with Coach Edwards. This is your biggest first half you guys have had this season. How are you going to carry this momentum into the second half?
You know, you're right, it was. I think going in and telling them what I said in the pregame, this team's not going to quit. They're going to stay disciplined, they're going to stay tough, and they will not quit. So we've got to keep our foot on the pedal and just keep it up. We can't have any letdown.
And what are you going to tell them right now in the locker room?
I'm going to tell them great job. That was a full team effort from special teams, defense, offense. Great team effort. Now we got to wipe that away. Scores 0-0. Let's have another half.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Coach. Back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you.
All right, thanks so much, Lexi. Rich Edwards, he knows this is a rivalry game. They're going to go in, and despite being up by 5 touchdowns, they're going to keep the pressure on the Queen Creek Bulldogs, who will be trying to mount a comeback. Khalil Bender's been a big weapon here tonight. Halftime coming up next. All right, we are back in the Santan Ford broadcast booth. Jody Jackson, Cody Cameron, and boy, it has been all Patriots in this one as they are set to kick it off for the second half.
3 touchdown passes, 3 interceptions from that defense. To me, Jody, that's been the most impressive part. And how about a pick 6 from the big man, Rex Curtis, to end the half, too. Heck of a showing for the Patriots.
Yeah, Rex Curtis, whose brother played at Queen Creek. So it will be Queen Creek taking the return and starting off this half with a running clock down by 35. So you heard Travis Sherman, tough situation there. You know that they have to be down about this, but knowing that, like he said, they're going to compete. They're going to come out here, try to put some points on the board. That's got to be the focus on this first drive.
I love what Coach Sherman said, and you know he challenged his kids at halftime, right? And he was honest with Lexi Lambert down. He said, hey, I just feel like we didn't match their intensity. Situations here where, hey, it could have been a 1-score game, going down to 14-7 through a pick in the end zone. It hasn't gone their way, but let's look to see how this Bulldog team responds here.
And there it is. Sawyer Hales throws the ball on a line to Levi Johnson down the middle of the field to start off this half.
And I think when you look at what ALA Quinn Creek is doing defensively, bringing some of that second-level pressure, the open and middle field is going to be there. Now, you have to block that pressure up front, give Sawyer some time to throw, but there will be pockets in that second level that are open.
Hales, still not a lot of time, but getting enough protection, and boy, incomplete, and Levi Johnson just leveled there in the middle by Cade Rollins.
And ALA Quinn Creek, this is what they cannot do. They're going to get a personal foul penalty here, 15 yards against them. Post the play. They're going to pull out Talon Scott here after that. It just, the penalties, if there's one thing that the Patriots needed to clean up in that half, we mentioned it a couple times, it is the penalties. A couple just brutal offsides on defense, and now if there's one way you can get Quinn Creek back into the game, quick scoring drives, it's extending something like that after, hey, incomplete pass on first down. Don't do something stupid and get him a 15-yard personal penalty. That's going to drive Coach Edwards crazy.
Yeah, so moving down the field and into Patriots territory, Hales airs it out, and it's just a bit underthrown. It's Brewer with the interception right there, and Brewer has been on Jerron Lyles all evening long. He was there and was able to pick off the pass.
Only a sophomore does a great job of zone turning and staying on the top of Lyles. So he's all on, eyes on the ball, goes up and grabs it there. The Patriots defense, Jody, they are that was first half MVP. I guess it can continue here. They have played tremendous football, especially in that secondary. They're just doing a great job of spying the quarterback and attacking. They are the attackers right now in this football game. 4 INTs for that defense.
And that is a tough assignment, having to handle Jerron Lyles, but Jaden Brewer, just a sophomore, number 27 for the Patriots, has done a really good job of it tonight and gets the interception there. As DeWitt will now take the ball in his own end zone and going to give the ball to Nesbitt, who runs to his right and is tackled there by Asher Howard at the sideline. And looked like right into our camera person.
Yeah,
what
Asher,
an angle.
Great angle. Asher Howard, he's played really, really well on special teams and defense for the Bulldogs. Good form tackle there as Nesbitt was trying to skate his way past the second line.
Yeah, Asher Howard, again, really popped on the film when I was preparing for this game, watching the previous few games for the Bulldogs. So now 2nd down and 10, and the handoff once again to Nesbitt. Gets a couple there.
Yeah, shouting out some of these Bulldog defensive players who have played pretty well. Clint Jensen, another tackle right at the line of scrimmage. Jensen's done a really good job of keeping outside leverage in this game and wrapping up running backs either for tackles for loss or right at the line of scrimmage. A nice play by number 8 for the Bulldogs.
So now it's 3rd and 6. Patriots backed up, and this Bulldogs defense needs to come up big here as the offense has struggled to put up points here tonight. DeWitt set to throw, plenty of time. It's off the hands of Nesbitt.
That one's picked, Jody.
Picked off. It is on the sideline. Over on there on the sideline, the Bulldogs do come up with a huge play and making the interception. Cody, this is big. I mean, DeWitt had a lot of time, and just a strange one. It just goes off of Nesbitt. I wonder if it hit his helmet.
Yeah, Brogan Moyers, the senior linebacker for Queen Creek. Johnny on the spot. We call that the tip drill back there on defense, and I think so. I'm not sure if Nesbitt was expecting that, or maybe DeWitt put a little heat on it, but Bulldogs with their best position by far in this football game. Once again, self-inflicted wounds cannot happen if you're the Patriots here in the second half, and I would say that's the second one early on in this 3rd quarter, with the Queen Creek Bulldogs now in tremendous field position to punch one in.
Back and forth we go. Fast and furious here. Bulldogs have it in good position, and Hales couldn't pull a trigger on the pass. Flag comes in, and did he get back to the line of scrimmage?
I think it's going to be a sack, and I think it's going to be holding in the backfield there by the Bulldogs. Is rolling left, did go max pro.
He's made some nice throws on the move. I was waiting for him to let that one fly, and he must have seen everyone covered downfield, at least on the left side of the field.
I'm sorry, we have personal foul face mask on ALA Queen Creek. That will be an automatic 1st down, and go halfway inside the 10, so looking about 5 yards, getting the crowd noise.
Yeah, they didn't like the call here on the ALA side, but if you're the Bulldogs, I mean, you got to score here. The opportunity that you have via the penalties is just too enticing not to be able to cash in, but can they do it? As it is 1st and goal for the Bulldogs. And Hales is a delayed handoff right there, and flying into the end zone for the touchdown. Is it David Rawson? It is David Rawson.
Yeah, they're marking him down at the 1, actually.
Down to the 1, okay.
I thought he was in 2 from our angle.
Got a little overzealous there. And the Bulldogs, again, just have a few inches getting in, and it's going to be Hales on the quarterback sneak. And it is a touchdown as the signal comes in, and that is it. The Bulldogs do get on the board here in the 3rd quarter.
And now we play the 2-point conversion game if you're Queen Creek. Every time you score, you're going for 2 points no matter what here, and that's big. Hey, you come out of the half, and a pick for a pick, so to speak, to start the drives here. But Bulldogs find pay dirt first here in the second half. Sawyer Hales, a sophomore quarterback, the quarterback keeper.
So nice job by Hales right there as the Bulldogs try to regroup and compete. They shall, as their coach reminded them at halftime, and they're going to go for 2. It's Rawson to the right, and now moving to the left of Hales, and Hales rolls right, looking end zone, and is short. Is it caught? No, it is incomplete, as many of the Patriots signaled first before we knew for sure. But the 2-point conversion is not good, and we'll have more right after the break here from Queen Creek.
9 out of 10 people addicted to alcohol or drugs started as a teen. That's why starting a conversation before your child is exposed to alcohol and drugs is important. Over 70% of young people say parents or caregivers are a reason they don't drink or use drugs. How can you make a difference? Pay attention and show you care. Share facts and help them build skills on how to avoid alcohol and other drugs. Talk. They hear you. Visit talknowaz.com.
Beyond game day, you'll find the Fiesta Sports Foundation working year-round to improve Arizona communities. In education, in youth programs, in sports. With more than 1 million Arizonans supported in 2024 and over 32 million in charitable donations since 2011. With your help, we'll go above and beyond in everything we do. Fiesta Sports Foundation. Our season never ends.
Back here at ALA Queen Creek, let's go to Lexi down on the sidelines.
Yeah, guys, I'm down here with the 2024-2025 men's volleyball state champions. You guys just got your rings tonight. How are you feeling?
Oh, it's a great feeling. It was a great season, and it's good to be with everybody and celebrate it.
Okay, guys, can you show off your rings? Show them to the camera. What work went into getting where you guys are?
It was so much. It's late nights, so many hard games, and coming from behind, we just put in so much hard work, and it paid off.
Okay, now, Sam, your brother has 2 rings. You now have 1. How are you feeling with this brother competition?
Right now I'm feeling a little defeated. It's only 1.
So you want 1 more this year? Is that what I'm hearing?
I want 2 more. I'm a senior, but we're running it back super senior. And we're going to get 3.
Okay, perfect. And are you taking us out?
What?
Back to you.
Oh, back to you, Cody and Jody.
Wow, nice job. Thanks so much. He's going to be a broadcaster as well as a state champion.
Like we said, he goes super senior. Let's get that 5th year. He's redshirted or something like that. It's a heck of a hit. Congrats to the boys state champion winners. I don't know if you saw any of those highlights out there, Jody. Yeah, guys doing backflips after sets and stuff. Just tremendous athleticism.
Yeah, really. I mean, incredible. And like you said, a lot of hard games, a lot of dedication to get to that point. Congrats to the boys volleyball team out here at ALA Queen Creek. As the Patriots will now take over on offense, and now it is 35-6. Once again, it was the quarterback sneak by Sawyer Hales that got the Bulldogs on the board. So let's see if the Patriots will respond. Like you had mentioned, Cody, they were very good at converting these drives into touchdowns, moving down the field, and their senior quarterback, Britt DeWitt, at the helm with 3 touchdown passes in the first half as flags fly pre-snap. And it is going to be on the Patriots.
Can't have it. That was the thing we mentioned in the first half. There's one thing the Patriots got to clean up is the pre-snap penalties. And we had a personal foul penalty last series defensively too. And they had a chance to put this one away well. And Queen Creek, Rich Edwards said it, walking off the field. Bulldogs team under Travis Sherman will never quit. We'll never quit. We need to put these guys away, continue to end drives with points. And right now, the Bulldogs winning the second half.
And that's how they have to look at it right now. You can imagine they're probably a little bit energized on their sideline, just knowing that they were able to score the touchdown. I saw some fireworks in the distance, Cody. I'm not sure what that was, but it's not homecoming or anything here, and I don't know where they were coming from, but that was kind of cool. It is a gorgeous night for football. Fall finally in the air here.
60 degrees here. Can't beat it after
65 in the booth, too.
Oh, there we go.
You like it cold.
I do like it cold. I like the icebox. After about 2 years of rain and 2 days, the fall weather is here in the state of Arizona.
It's a gorgeous night. And DeWitt connecting there with number 3 for the Patriots offense, Nash Proctor.
Yeah, Britt DeWitt has really impressed me in this one. He looks comfortable in all sets. He looks comfortable in the run. He looks comfortable in the pocket. He has been accurate all night. He took a shot that last play of the first half that caused an errant throw for an interception. And then, the tip pass INT the last series. He's really lit it up. He's really impressed me here tonight.
And as the clock winds down, the play clock, DeWitt DeWitt going to take it himself on what looks like a designed run, kind of slides past the 40. And, you know, he has enough mobility. We've seen it a little bit. It's not something he does a ton of, but he is able to do it and takes advantage right here and collides with a couple of defenders there, as it's going to be 3rd and about 4.
DeWitt is a University of Idaho commit. He will take a mission, 2-year mission, and then head out to Moscow, Idaho at the University of Idaho. Coach Ford, their head football coach there, year 1 for him. Tremendous coach and a great staff. The Vandals.
Yeah, congratulations to DeWitt. Going to continue to play at the college level as that ball was swatted. I don't know if it was batted or just his whole arm was kind of swatted out of the air by the defender for the Bulldogs. Lachlan Geyer?
Yeah, he's done a great job. He's done a couple of times batting down the balls, getting his hands up, coming to the quarterback. Elusive, nice job by Lachlan. And how about this? Bulldogs defense put in some work here in the second half in the 3rd quarter. Back-to-back drives now have the pick on their first drive and setting up a punt situation here, I believe. ALA's first punt of the game.
A little bit different personnel as Geyer. Now that punt is blocked. And it is going to be recovered there by the Bulldogs. Wow, that was a great special teams play, as the Patriots could not get that punt off. And a nice block. Let's see who made the block on that particular play. Here's another look at it. Looked like some pressure from number 29, but it was 19 getting his hands on the ball. That is Isaac Aldridge.
Now, how about the Bulldogs playing a little inspired here in the second half? Whatever coach Travis Sherman told his team, kind of lit a fire under these players, and he's known to do that. Gets the most out of them. That's why he's one of the best football coaches in the state of Arizona. And how about this? Another possession inside the 30 here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, Bulldogs and Hales under pressure, goes down for the Patriots. Number 20, Rigdon Michael, the junior. He's got 4 sacks on the season. That's number 5.
Yeah, Hale's stepping up, and Michaels right there to meet him. Rigdon, little brother Brody Michaels, who's also at University of Idaho. So much University of Idaho, University of New Mexico.
A lot of connection here.
Michaels making an own name for him.
To the Vandals. Hales is pressured, does get the ball off, and it was intended there for Caden Kellogg. There were 2 rushers in the face of Sawyer Hales on that play. So the Patriots continue to put the pressure on.
We might get rough in the passer here from the Patriots, and that is exactly what we're going to get. So be another free first down for the Bulldogs, 15 yards, and ALA Quinn Creek continues to shoot themselves in the foot a little bit here in the 3rd quarter. Can we spotlight Jaden Brewer, the sophomore corner? He's been on an island multiple times here in this football game, one-on-one matchups. He is doing an amazing job of playing through the ball, turning around and playing the football too. Only a sophomore, Jaden Brewer. And you can see the penalty here, just kind of a high hit on Hales. Right in front of the white hat, going to get called every time. So now the Bulldogs inside the 20.
Bulldogs have it, and Hales high snap. The handoff to Rawson, running right, and maybe finds a yard before he is pushed out of bounds. And it'll be 2nd down.
Trying to see the number out there. I think that might have been 2-8, which was Gage Garzini. Might have the right, 2-8 right there, Gage Garzini. So this is a sophomore running back, kind of playing outside safety there, setting the edge, and nice play.
And this time Hales on the run, looking end zone, and it is picked off once again. The Patriots with their 4th interception of the night. Wow, Caden Arrieta
And that's actually number 5, Jody.
5.
They had
that's right.
2 in the third quarter now. Once again, these secondary players are doing such a good job of just spying right now. They're spying, and they're playing the football at its highest point. You say attack, right? When you use the word attack on a pass play, you're saying, hey, the wide receivers attacking the football. That is what ALA Quinn Creek is doing defensively right now. They are the aggressors. They are spying hills, and they're jumping all these routes. It is perfect technique. These kids are coached up really well. Great job. 5 INTs on this football game for ALA Quinn Creek now.
Yeah, it has been a tough night for Sawyer Hales, that's for sure. And back in their own end zone is DeWitt handing it off, and having a nice run is Bobby Nesbitt, who does a good job of keeping those feet moving and getting yardage in that situation. Yeah, I was looking at Spencer Hales, again, sophomore coming in. He came in with 13 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. So if you were wondering coming in, it hasn't been like he's had issues throwing that many. Again, it's 6 games, so you'd like to see less. But adding the 5 tonight certainly speaks to that Patriots defense.
Oh, we almost had another one there. R.J. Jackson, another tip drill. Khalil Bender coming down a rocket screen, just goes through his hands, and R.J. could have had a walk-in.
It almost looked like the same exact thing. We saw Nesbitt went off of his hands in the pick, and this is to Khalil Bender. Just kind of dumping it off here to Bender, who was not able to make the catch.
R.J.'s punching his helmet there because he would have had a walk-in pick 6.
So here we go again, and it's 3rd down. Flags fly. There is no rhythm to this third quarter, that is for sure.
All over the place here. Yeah, both coaches are going to gather their teams up as we enter the 4th quarter here in under a minute. Some serious talking too, but I do like the fire that the Bulldogs have played with in this third quarter, especially defensively, where nothing has gone their way at all in the first half. Kids have come out inspired. They have not quit, and that is a product of their coaching staff.
It also speaks to the rivalry and just how badly both teams want to win the game, but have a decent showing for the Bulldogs at this point in time, as the pass play is stopped short by the Bulldogs on 3rd down. So it'll be 4th down for the Patriots, and it looks like they're going to run a play here.
I think it's a deke. They're trying to get the Bulldogs to jump off sides before here, and I don't think they're going to get that, so we'll go to the 4th quarter.
Yep, there it is. The horn, 4th quarter coming up. That was a sloppy 3rd quarter, but the Bulldogs did get on the board, and it is a 29-point differential. There it is, the interception by Jaden Brewer. Another pick right here for the Bulldogs, and we'll be right back for the 4th quarter action from ALA Queen Creek.
Fiesta Bowl High School Football Showdown on CW7 Arizona is brought to you by the Fiesta Bowl and Fiesta Sports Foundation, supporting Arizona youth, sports, and education.
And we are back tonight, and again, it is the Fiesta Bowl High School Football Showdown. We're so happy to be out here at ALA Queen Creek, and we have food. It smells delicious, Cody.
Best day of my life. Best day of my life. We have football. And we have brisket sandwiches,
we can't broadcast and eat at the same time, but this is
the best day ever. Oh, look at that. We got 2 blocks. Look at this. Eliav and Lexi.
Come on.
Digging in. How are you guys?
I did sneak a bite of this. It's delicious.
Brienne Jensen.
Oh, Brienne's the best.
Just spoiling us. I got to get the barbecue sauce on there. Are you kidding me? Full pork sandwiches.
Oh, look, we have napkins. Thank you, Carson.
My goodness.
Can we just broadcast here every week?
Yo, I'm going in. I got to go in.
We're just going to hire Brienne Jensen.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Brienne. Amazing hospitality out here at ALA Queen Creek, and the snap goes over the head of the punter, Jet Phillips. Boy, it has just been a tough night. That previous punt was blocked, and the snap goes over Phillips' head into the end zone, beyond the end zone.
It's been such a weird second half. It really has. a little bit better now, obviously, with the pulled pork sandwich. That is a special treat here. Amazing. But, yeah, just good. Where everything that ALA Queen Creek did in that first half, I mean, they dominated every facet of this football game. That was kind of like we're getting reminiscence of kind of how they were the first 5 weeks of the season, right? And a lot of those question marks of, okay, do we have, and it's the schedule, we have kids with inexperience, you know, but once again, the third quarter, that third quarter was really the time to put the Bulldogs away. And granted, they're still up by 4 scores, but situations like this are how you let teams stick around.
Absolutely, and I think just both teams, both coaches, even though the discrepancy in the score is evident, just want to play a cleaner game, less sloppy. So Tustin DeWitt is back to receive. DeWitt had a nice game against Corona del Sol last week. Again, Corona, or I should say Queen Creek, coming off their fall break. ALA Queen Creek still in their break right now. And whistles coming in as DeWitt catches the ball at the 37.
We might have a we might have had a timeout by ALA Queen Creek. Rich Edwards just walking out to the numbers in the hash, or I don't know, the
confusion continues here in the second half. A lot of flags in this game in general. So, I mean, both of these teams are going to be looking to clean that up.
I think it was a quote-unquote false start on the kickoff. One of the Patriot players stepping in front before crossing the line before the kick happened. But you are correct on the penalties here, Joey.
And the kick off to the left side of the field bounces down and gets a terrific roll for the Patriots at the 20, but
wow. I don't know if I've ever seen that. Was almost recovered by the Patriots. And I think Queen Creek jumped on it. They did. Asher Howard jumped on that ball to save it.
Asher Howard, yeah, just aggressive there. But that was another strange play because the hit comes in, but the ball had not been secured.
I believe.
So it's fair game.
Yeah, I believe the returner thought that ball was going to maybe go out of bounds through the air, but it landed not too close to the hash, just rolled down inside the 20. So where Queen Creek was almost guaranteed field position near or past midfield, now they don't get until the 20.
Yeah, if you're DeWitt, you're just looking to fall on that immediately. But he probably wanted to try to pick it up and run. Needless to say, it's going to be first down back on the 15, and the handoff to Rawson. He finds no room as that Patriots defense swarms Rawson on that play.
Yeah, Cade Rollins, the senior middle linebacker, just hunts him down. They've seen that draw play to the field side a couple times now. Nice diagnose from Cade Rollins, and he was all over it, sniffed it out immediately, making the tackle for loss.
So second and about 12 here, and the pass looking for Lyles was Hales, and it was off the mark.
It's kind of out of sync. Out of sync is the word I would use here, or the phrase I would use here in this football game for the Bulldogs offense. And once again, they were moving the ball early on, had that drive where they were looking to put in some points and then the pick in the end zone. Needless to say, just all these turnovers, they were never able to click in this football game.
Third down, crowd comes alive here. Hales has to step up in the pocket and finds no room. He is brought down and sacked by ALA Queen Creek. It's Ryder Stoll, the senior. Continuing the tough night for Hales.
Yeah, so the pressure has been all over the place here for ALA Queen Creek, and it's been Ryder Stoll and that front seven getting after it.
And this defense, it just shows you, I mean, again, they had close losses to South Point, to Red Mountain, and you can see just how talented this group is, and looking in sync. It's been the opposite of that Bulldogs offense. So I told you earlier in the game a little bit about the family connection here. So my sister-in-law, Carrie, her husband, Mark, terrific job raising 5 kids, 3 boys who play football. And Cole Lalama, number 10, their son went to Queen Creek and was top tackler in 6A ball. Cody, you know that, I'm sure. My son, Connor, who is his cousin, is the quarterback at Western New Mexico. And the Queen Creek connection is Diego Morales. You can see Diego to Cole's left, Davey to Connor's right, and then Talon Tinsley is the kicker over there. And just an example of, and there's a lot of kids, we've talked about a lot of the schools, but Western New Mexico, one of those schools with a lot of Arizona kids going over there, and including the Lalama family. He's now Cole and Zane played at Queen Creek. Cody Lalama is Britton DeWitt's back up here at ALA Queen Creek.
Yeah, and I just think this speaks volumes to how much talent we have in the state of Arizona. And I love that those kids are there and the coaching staff recruits Arizona kids, because it goes to that theory, go where you can play as well. Division II football is high-level college football. If you're a D2 athlete, you're a tremendous football player.
It has been fun to see them all continue their careers. One thing that's been interesting, I know the first year when Connor went to visit over there, Queen Creek, is purple, and so is Western New Mexico, and so the Morales family and the Lalamas all have the purple and gold gear. It fit in very nicely over at Western New Mexico.
So what you're saying is your son Connor had to make some trips to the bookstore to get hooked up and get some football apparel going over there, because he was bleeding. What's that color for Corona? Orange.
Corona is it's bleed orange.
Yeah, bleed orange.
Yeah.
Mixed with what? A little bit of yellow? What's their?
Yeah, it's like a candy corn, honestly. They used to wear the candy
corn jerseys.
And back to fourth quarter action here at ALA Queen Creek, as Britt DeWitt, who's had a really good night, is going to hand it off to Bobby Nesbitt, but finding no room. Asher Howard again making the tackle.
I think one of the coolest things about these Thursday broadcasts, Jody, is having the state of Arizona listen and watch us here on the CW7 Arizona Network, and that includes reporters. So we have reporters from all over the great state of Arizona, including outside Zach Elvira, one of the longest tenured Arizona high school football reporters, out in Monument, Colorado.
Hey, Zach. Zach always did a great job covering high school sports. Wow, the pass from DeWitt to Talon Scott, and took a big hit. We'll check on him. That was a major collision in the end zone.
Yeah, it was Colton Cox, number 22, another sophomore player for the Bulldogs, come high flying. We're going to get a replay here. Colton Cox coming from our left side of the screen, as you see Talon Scott working his way, and see Colton Cox leads with his shoulder and hits a little high, but it breaks up the pass. They're going to get him for a 15-yard personal foul penalty. The most important thing is Talon Scott is walking off the field on his own power, which is good to see. Colton Cox trying to play through the hands. I didn't think he led with the crown of his helmet. I know that's the whole discussion, right, in college football ejections. They're going to call helmet-to-helmet contact here. It looked like the shoulder. Regardless, I'm just happy that Talon Scott is walking off. And
yeah, it looked bad. Obviously, when you go up for a pass like that, you're exposed to a big hit. But I'm sure it didn't feel good, but he looks okay over there on the sideline.
Yeah, Colton Cox is one of those sophomore players for the Bulldogs, too, who's put some really, really good tape together. High-flying player, no fear. So you see, yeah, he launches. It's a tough angle there. There maybe is some helmet-to-helmet contact. I don't think there was any intent at all to spear. I think that he's trying to make a play, breaking up the ball there. And but once again, I'm glad Talon Scott walked off the field on his own power.
So second down now for the Patriots as they look to put another touchdown on the board. See Khalil Bender, who's had a big night with a couple of touchdown catches. Number 5, lining up on the near side. He has shown tremendous speed and great hands as the ball was lofted up Bender's direction, but it was out of the end zone and out of the reach.
Yeah, overthrow there, trying to get Bender his own hat trick in this football game. His 2 touchdown receptions were perfect examples of what that kid brings to the table for this Patriots offense. He's not the tallest kid in the state at receiver, but he is one of the most athletic, and he high points the ball better than most, and he's a tremendous route runner, and he creates separation, and those factors right there are why that kid is a Division I football player.
Yeah, and at 6'1", it's like you said, not the tallest, but plenty of height to be able to do the job at the next level. Here's DeWitt again, looking to the end zone, and it is broken up as Talon Scott was back in there and was the target on that play, but it was Colton Cox defending him again, so a little bit of a repeat matchup there.
Bach, Adam, as you can see, kind of playing hip pocket. Might have tugged a little bit, but diving, making the effort to break up that pass. And once again, only a sophomore. There's a ton of sophomores out here getting some run for the Bulldogs. Oh, you know what? We just hyped him up, and I didn't see that flag. They hit him for a defensive pass interference, I believe. So that hook that we did see on the replay, it did look like they called that from the backside. But once again, Colton Cox, only a sophomore, playing his tail off here in the second half.
Just to see Talon Scott back out there, you feel pretty good about that. And again, in the red zone are the Patriots. Our red zone sponsor in tonight's game is Phillips Law Group. Everything you need to win, including a Phillips. DeWitt lofts it over left side to Scott, and out of his reach. Same play that they ran to Bender, this time Scott over there.
Yeah, trying to go that 50-50 ball in that back left corner. DeWitt puts it in a good spot. We're going to get a great replay here from our field camera. Tries to one-handed and cannot come up with it here. The Patriots really trying to put the final dagger.
Whatever happened to the run game, by the way? Like, are we just
disappeared here in the second half, it looks like.
This is a lot of fades to the corner. So 2nd and 4. And in the backfield is that Nash Hall now. And DeWitt motioning, takes the snap out of shotgun, and a quick pass to Scott, who does get into the end zone. This time, the pass caught short of the line, and Talon Scott lunges into the end zone for the touchdown, his first of the night.
That looked like a pre-snap audible there from DeWitt. He saw somebody he likes. Just a quick out by Scott, who stiff arms, and look at the power. Stays upright, dives into the end zone. Touchdown for the junior tight end.
There's a lot that happened in that end zone before getting that touchdown. Well-deserved by Scott, who took the big hit earlier. And now at 41-8, the Patriots will look to make it 42 as the extra point is up, and it is no good. So it will remain 41. And we will head to break with 6:33 left here in the fourth quarter. It is all Patriots here tonight. Britt DeWitt with his 4th touchdown pass to Talon Scott.
Tonight's drone coverage is brought to you by Sports 360 AZ. For the most complete coverage of high school sports in Arizona, visit sports360az.com. Now let's go around Arizona. We had Chrisman up 6-0 after this touchdown over Gilbert Christian. Sophomore running back Walker Hidby goes around the outside, speeds his way into the end zone, and back to you up in the booth.
All right, thanks so much, Eliav. Gave us a chance to continue eating the smoked pulled pork out here at ALA Queen Creek.
Can I give
number one of broadcasting is don't eat while you're talking. But
can I give this a rating? I'm going to give this a rating right
what do
here.
You have
I love ratings. So
good.
First bite, everybody knows the rules, right? Yeah, this is an 8.89. 8.89, which is an extremely high score. Smoked, tender. Well, we have a great kickoff here by the Bulldogs.
Taking it down the left sideline and and racing out across the 40 past midfield. So a nice return there by Tustin DeWitt. Not to be confused with Britton DeWitt, who is the quarterback for the Patriots.
And that was worth the pause, too. I will definitely end my rating there for that heck of a kickoff from him.
8.89
Yeah, so the reason why I get that is this is like the rookie score of like just an 8 out of 10 or 7 out of 10. Like, I dissect this. I'm in a sports reporter chat, a bunch of people, and we're always ranking media meals and stuff like that. 8.89 because it's tender, it's perfect. And the barbecue sauce is amazing, and the fact that they brought it up to us, our amazing crew, and A. Quinn Creek, I think that just added special bonus. I love it. It's amazing.
Yeah, we are spoiled up here. That is for sure. Bulldogs ball, and Spencer Hales is going to be taken down. Not a lot of time to throw the ball. They haven't had it all night, and it's Cord Nunnery with the sack.
Yeah, that one lone returner from last year's defense, his second sack of the game. So you're watching the violence. Great wrap up, moving his feet. Nice play from Nunnery. See, now I'm just thinking of media meals. Best media meal I've ever had, Holiday Bowl 2024 is Louisville versus USC down in San Diego. An amazing place to watch college football. That media meal is amazing, Jody. Now I'm just getting PTSD reminiscence of it.
And no room to run there for Rawson. But his defense is just swarming from the Patriots. So I have to ask you, what was it? I mean, fish. I'm thinking of fish tacos when I think of San Diego.
So they had two. So they had a pregame meal and a halftime meal. So automatically rose it a little bit. Their pregame meal was like a holiday spread, smoked ham, turkey, these garlic scallop potatoes. They're so good. Oh, wow. And then steamed veggies. And then the halftime meal was like another barbecue mix. It was amazing. Out in the Gaslamp district of San Diego. It's pretty killer.
Does sound good. Under 5 minutes to go, and Hales just trying to make something happen. He does connect on the near sideline with number 11 for the Bulldogs. That's Andrew Bohannon in the slot tonight.
And you mentioned this, Hales out of the pocket, and he is a true pocket passer. I think that is where he is most comfortable. But out of the pocket, though, he's made some things happen. And just like DeWitt on the other side, allowing his receivers maximize time to get open. And he's putting the ball on the money on some of those throws.
He really is. He's just had a hard time finding any kind of rhythm here tonight. And now on fourth down, does connect on the sideline, and that's going to be good for a first down, I believe. Who made the catch over there? That was Bear Fisher. The big target gets the first down catch for the Bulldogs.
Now, we saw him a couple times to start the third quarter, and then the deep shot that was called for defensive pass interference. I assume he's going to be a huge piece, especially when Tate comes back. So much of their play-action waggle game relies on Bear Fisher.
Hales now throws, and it is caught. The receiver, Jordan Jackson, the junior, makes the catch.
Yeah, a name we haven't heard either in a while, Jerron Lyles. You know, Jerron Lyles is one of the most explosive players in 6A football. I haven't seen him out there. Haven't seen him on the sideline either, so we hope Jerron Lyles is okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
2nd and 6 now as the Bulldogs are moving the ball. The pressure coming as Hales was hit, and it is picked off again. Another interception, number 6 on the night, and he is still running down the sideline. For the Patriots, that is Bryce Devlin.
Yeah, the junior free safety coming up with his second INT of the game. And number 6 for the Patriots defense. So again, they're just spying and they're high pointing. They are robbing over the top. Yeah, just watching the athleticism, but it's the eyes of the secondary making that happen. Really well coached unit, and they have feasted here tonight, Jody.
It'll be back to the drawing board for this Bulldogs offense. Down 41-8, and turnovers just a killer as Cody Lalama steps in and hands the ball off to Nash Hall, sophomore. who I just mentioned was my nephew. So I'm just full disclosure here.
Cool moment here.
It is a cool moment. Cody, you know, little Cody that I've watched grow up since he was born is now, I was out on the, you were out there with me in the middle of the field, and boy, I told his mom, my sister-in-law Carrie, like, Cody looks so big, you know, with the, the helmet
in 12 months.
Just the football uniform.
6'1", 180.
And he's doing a great job on the JV team. That a big win last night. And like I said, a sophomore, and he is looks to throw and now run, no room there, as he's brought down on second down.
The thing about that JV program, when I was talking to Rich Edwards and a couple of those coaches at practice, JV programs played really well. I think they've either won every single game or they only have one loss on the record, but they've hung around and beaten some of the best teams in the state, their JV programs, and they're looking at, it's kind of a mix of mostly sophomores, but have a couple freshmen up there. They're looking at that class, it's a class of 2028, with the sophomores that they have already here to be a pretty strong class.
And it's a young team. I mean, of course, Britton DeWitt, the starter, is a senior, but it is a young team with Cody, again, just a sophomore. The run play gets a couple of yards on the ground, a nice run there.
Yeah, they're going to return 4 of their offensive linemen. McKay Jensen will graduate. They also, speaking of injuries, I can't believe it took me the entire game to mention this. Their best football player on this team, Braden Chick.
You were visiting with him pregame.
Amazing kid. Unfortunately, was lost to injury week 2, I believe, of this season. Amazing. He's a University of New Mexico commit. He's going there for his official visit on Saturday. Injury was so bad he still can't even fly out there. He's got to drive. Great kid. They lost him, but he's still coaching on the sideline. And those kids I root for so much, Jody.
Yeah, he has a bright future once he gets healthy, that is for sure, as the punt is taken by the Bulldogs, and it is Lyles trying to gain yardage out to about just short of the 40-yard line. Don't miss a down of CW College football Saturday. First, it's Washington State taking on number 18, Virginia, followed by Lafayette and Oregon State. Coverage begins Saturday at 3:30 right here on CW7 Arizona.
It's been an amazing college football season. So many one-loss teams right now that are probably going to make the playoffs because everybody's beating up on each other. But I'm
so many
also
upsets. It's been
Oregon
crazy.
lost last week. ASU hosting Texas Tech.
That's a big one.
I think that might be the best team in the country, and I am not best team in the Big 12 Conference, and I am not talking about the Sun Devils in that football game.
Texas Tech is unbelievable. What are they ranked 7th right now?
Yeah, they are. That defense is incredible.
So it's going to be a big challenge. Looks like Sam Levitt might be trending to play in that game. And that'll be a big one as time winds down here. And ALA Queen Creek Patriots are going to win this battle of Queen Creek and continue what has been recent dominance over this team on the other side. The last time the Bulldogs won, 2022. And they'll continue that here, moving to 2-5 on the season, Cody. So 2-5 for the Patriots, Bulldogs 4-3. We've got lots more coverage coming your way right after the break.
The Fiesta Bowl High School Football Showdown on CW7 Arizona is brought to you by Sweet James. We fight to get what you deserve. The U.S. Army, be all you can be. And Talk Now AZ. Start a conversation about drugs and alcohol with your kids now. Talk. They hear you.
A big win for the Patriots out here. 41-8 is the final. Jody Jackson here in the booth. Let's go down to the field level where our sideline reporter Lexi Lambert is with the winning coach, head coach Rich Edwards.
Yes, I am down here with Coach Edwards. Big rivalry win. How are you feeling?
Obviously really good. We played a almost perfect first half. Running clock in the second half. We didn't execute as well as we would have liked in the second half, but that's, like I said, they didn't quit. They forced us into some of that, but feel really good about that win against a great team.
You guys had no interceptions coming into this game, and now you're walking out with 6 interceptions. How does it feel to have that under your belt and taking it into the next week?
Really feels great for the boys. I'm really thrilled for them. They put the work in. Going 0-5 is a tough deal. They kept working, they kept grinding, and that's the result of hard work. So it's really gratifying to see that for them.
Congratulations, Coach. Back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Lexi, and thanks, Coach. As we take a look at the Patriots, they're winning on their home field here tonight. The team still on fall break, but doing great work this evening. Now it is time to take a look at our Whataburger play of the game. What a play, what a burger. It is actually the Whataburger plays of the game, as Sawyer Hales was picked off 6 times in this game. Bryce Devlin had 2 of them. You saw the first one there. Another one here by Rex Curtis, rumbling down the field and at the 1-yard line getting it done. And Curtis, a senior, another interception here. Some really athletic plays by the Patriots. Nash Cahoon had a pick as well. And here, Hales trying to get the ball to Jerron Lyles, their big playmaker, and it was picked up by Jaden Brewer, who did a really nice job of covering Jerron Lyles here tonight. And then Caden Arrieta with a pick. So a tough night for the Bulldogs and their offense, and there's a very athletic play. Bryce Devlin with his 2nd of the night. It was all Patriots defense. Now let's go back to Lexi, who is with the player of the game and the belt.
Yes, I'm down here with Fiesta Sports Foundation because Brett here is going to present the belt.
Yep. All right, gentlemen, you know how this goes. We got 1 belt. Probably could have gone to a lot of these guys on this team, but where's Khalil at? Number 5.
How does it feel? How are you feeling? Rivalry game. You had humongous catches. You can see you guys are very excited. How are you feeling?
I mean, I felt great. I don't feel like they were a rivalry. They weren't really nothing, to be honest.
Okay, show off your belt and celebrate your team. I know you want to. Back to you guys.
Khalil Bender, new to the Patriots this year and pretty confident right there. Player of the game, our Fiesta Bowl High School Football Showdown on CW7 Arizona. What a night it has been. And all season long, we want to thank the Fiesta Bowl for all they do and the Fiesta Sports Foundation. And of course, everyone at CW7 and all of our terrific sponsors. Tonight, it was all about the Patriots defense. The offense pretty good, as well as Britton DeWitt with 4 touchdown passes. And the defense got on the board as well. Rex Curtis with the touchdown. For Cody Cameron and Lexi Lambert, I'm Jody Jackson. Postgame is coming up next.
The Fiesta Bowl High School Football Showdown on CW7 Arizona is brought to you by the Fiesta Bowl and Fiesta Sports Foundation, supporting Arizona youth, sports, and education.
Welcome to the post-game show here at ALA Queen Creek. Elliot Goodbye alongside Cody Cameron. And Cody, we'll just get right into it. Khalil Bender afterwards saying it's not much of a rivalry. ALA Queen Creek hangs 41 points on Queen Creek's head. I mean, how much fun was that for you from the booth? Just a lot of highlights, first of all. We'll get to that in a second.
It was a huge performance for the Patriots, and I think all the questions coming into this game, right, was how about that defense? Because it kind of did get shredded a little bit in the first 5 games, and okay, how about the offense and getting some new pieces like a Khalil Bender? Well, they answered a lot of questions, right, today. I think, one, they matched physicality. I think they came out here ready to go, and that was evident with their defensive play. I thought they played fast. I thought they attacked. And how about this? 6 turnovers, 6 INTs. Jody Jackson mentioned this on the broadcast, Eliav. They came into this game with 0 interceptions on the defense side of the ball. They leave with 6. So I think in terms of that, it was amazing. A great showing by Britt DeWitt, the University of Idaho commit at quarterback as well. It was an awesome game for the ALA Queen Creek Patriots.
All right, well, let's check the game out right now. Full game highlights coming at you All right, this one was a quick one, easy from Bobby Nesbitt, just using the fast feet. And then I love seeing Britt DeWitt toss it up to his man, Khalil Bender, just mossing dudes out there, Cody.
And DeWitt was amazing in this one, and so much credit to his offensive line, though, Eliab. His offensive line was money. And then there's one of 6 INTs for the Patriots there. That secondary did a tremendous job of eyeing the quarterback and playing the highest point. And then, speaking of highest point, Mr. Khalil Bender, 1 of 2 touchdowns on the night.
Come on, and 1 of 4 TD passes there for Britt DeWitt. And there's another one, this time to Stetson Agnew, who adjusts. And now this was my highlight of the game right there.
Curtis.
Come on!
Hey, how about this? The big boy touchdown rumbling and stumbling. Ooh, look at that. Read that. Quiet down.
Okay, we're quiet. Okay, now we're loud again. Come on, another pick. Cody, they were just all over it.
They really were, and I just, once again, I think this defense needed that confidence. They had a big game. Hey, Quinn Creek, though, I will give them this. Travis Sherman at halftime said, I want to see how my team comes out of the second half. And they came out with some fire. So they had the early pick on that tip, and then Sawyer Hales, the sophomore quarterback, guts it into the touchdown. To me, wrapping this all up here with the highlights, even though the 41-8 victory for LA Quinn Creek, huge win for the Patriots. On the flip side, if you're the Quinn Creek Bulldogs, you're okay. You're okay, because who's coming out here in a week or two? Mr. Tate Reynolds.
That's right.
Mr. Tate, one of the best athletes in the country. He's coming back, and honestly, when you look at rankings and stuff like that, I'm sure we're going to get all into that, Eliav. A Quinn Creek loss here. They were sitting at 13 when these rankings came out. They're going to be okay. LA Quinn Creek, though, they're going to jump. They were ranked 20th this past week.
Yeah.
I assume they'd be a top 15 team with next week's rankings. And
I love that sack right there from Corday. Nunnery clobbered him. And then once again, just another pick right there. And you know what? That's the second one from Bryce Devlin on the night. You thought he might take that back for a second. But you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right about Queen Creek having a lot to look forward to. Obviously, Tate going to be out there. And now, of course, you can watch this again on Saturday. I know you ALA Queen Creek fans are going to want to run this one back. Saturday, 10:30 p.m. right here on CW7 Arizona. Now, we're going to take a little quick break, but we will be back with more. Eliav Gavai, Cody Cameron. We'll see you after the break. It's playoff season in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and the top drivers looking to tear up the track. And Talladega Raceway will take you trackside for all the action live this Saturday. Coverage begins at 12:30 right here on CW7 Arizona. Welcome back to our post-game show. Eliav Gabay, Cody Cameron, and Cody. Lots of highlights in this game, but let's take a look at some notable games coming up on the schedule for us. Cody, I know you're fired up for some of these.
Well, the reason being, Eliav, is because we have hit that point in the Arizona high school football season. Well, guess what? Playoffs are right around the corner.
That's right.
Staying in 6A, Battle of Brown Road, Red Mountain versus Mountain View. These two teams, some of the best teams both schools have had in a couple of years. And talk about heated rivalries. Battle of Brown Road, one of those best. 5A, ACP the Knights, one of the most impressive teams in the state of Arizona right now in 5A versus ALA Gilbert North. Ty Detmer, another former head coach out here at ALA Quinn Creek, doing a tremendous job at ALA Gilbert North. 4A, Snowflake versus Eastmark. Love that. I love that battle. And then a couple of those games, Blue Ridge Solo, and then 2A, the Veritas Prep versus Phoenix Christian. Amazing football in 2A. Like I said, we're getting down here into the rankings where it's really playoff seeding time. So pretty awesome.
Speaking of notable, something else of note, we got a little surprise for our boy Cody Cameron. Look at that.
Goodness.
Hollister High School, Chris Cameron getting the strength and conditioning facility named after him. That's his dad.
Oh,
Cody's
man, you
dad.
guys right in the heartstrings.
Yeah.
I did not know that. You guys get me again. Super proud of my dad. He's awesome. He's my role model in life, and many of our former players and my teammates. He's coached for 40-plus years, 4 CCS titles. Me and my teammates were part of one in 2012. Amazing dad. I am so lucky So lucky to have him as a father. I love you, Dad. Thank you.
And if anyone knows Cody, he knows he was raised right. This is one great guy, but we got one fun game here. Cody, I know it was a blowout, but still a rivalry nonetheless. Highlights all over the place. Thank you so much for tuning in. For Jody Jackson, Cody Cameron, Lexi Lambert, and our whole crew, I'm Eliav Gabai saying goodbye and see you next week.